What's up, everybody? I'm JJ, and this is Door Gunner 47. And today I have Taran Tactical Innovations JW3 Combat Master Wide Body, a semi-automatic, single-action, hammer-fired, magazine-fed pistol chambered in 9mm or 9mm major. But before I get started, I want to say that I am not sponsored by any of the product manufacturers you see in this video. Everything you see in this video, I've either bought with my own money or is on loan to me so I can make these videos. With that being said, let's get into the features of the Combat Master. We'll begin with the steel slide and the finish on it. It's going to have a black, polished and matted diamond-like carbon coating, which is extremely strong, extremely durable. It's going to be very hard to scratch the finish on this slide. It's also going to have the Combat Master serration cuts and window cuts on the slide. They're on the front and the rear, and they make racking the slide very, very easy. There's plenty of texture to grab onto. The angles on them, they're sharp and aggressive enough, but they won't really cut your hands when you're using them. Moving on to the front sight, it is going to be Taran Tactical Innovations fiber optic front sights. You can change them out between red and green. This one does have the red on it, and it also has little serration cuts on the on that front slide or front sight as well. The rear sight on this one is going to be STI Internationals. They are adjustable. You can raise them up and down, and then they also have serration cuts on the rear sight as well. Acquiring the front and rear sight are very easy. Serration cuts have never made that much of a difference to me, but they are there. You do have the little Taran Tactical Innovation laser engraving up on the top of the slide as well. This one is not optics ready. It doesn't have a cut for it, so you can put an optic on it, but this was a limited edition run. We'll get into that a little bit more. You do have the Combat Master and the Taran Tactical on the left and right side of the slide, and then this also has an Aftec extractor as well. Moving on to the barrel. The Combat Master is going to have a 5.4-inch match grade bull barrel. And really all that means is that the barrel's thicker in diameter than most standard barrels. It's also going to have an FDE/bronze DLC diamond-like carbon coating finish as well. It's also going to have a polished feed ramp, which is going to make chambering the rounds that much easier, smoother. It's also going to have a stainless steel guide rod that's captured in a 2011 style setup. Now, let's talk about the frame on the Combat Master. You're going to have a full steel frame with the same black diamond-like carbon coating finish. You'll have a full 1913 pick and tenny rail on the dust cover. Our slide lock / takedown lever has been extended. It's also got serration cuts on it as well to give you a little bit more texture to grab onto. You have a paddle style ambidextrous slide lock safety on the rear. It's on both sides. It as well also has serration cuts to give you more texture on the surface area of it to grab onto as well. You are going to have Extreme Engineering's light speed fire control group in the Combat Master, and it's about 1.75 to 2.5 pounds of trigger pull, which is extremely light, and it's extremely smooth as well. It's got the skeletonized textured trigger, and it also has a very skeletonized hammer. A lot of material has been cut out of it, and it has little serration cuts on it, so you can have some more area to grab onto as well. Your beaver tail has been extended, and it's also got this little curve added onto it, so that way when you go to get a real high tight grip on the Combat Master, it doesn't dig into your hand right away because it's not pointed down, which is a very, very cool feature. On the trigger guard, you have a little bit of stippling added onto the front, and then you also have a double undercut, which allows you to get a really comfortable grip. And if you're one of those shooters that likes to put your index finger on the front of the trigger guard, you have that texture of it as well. You have an extended mag release, definitely extended, and it's got a lot of texture on it as well. Your grip safety is part of the beaver tail, which I didn't mention. On the grip itself, you have Taran Tactical Innovations custom stippling, which in my opinion, it looks kind of like a snake scale or serpent scale, which is actually, it's pretty cool. And then you have STI's flared magazine well, which it works very well. It does its job. And it also has these cutouts for your fingers and your thumbs to grab onto the magazine for removal. Moving on to the mags, you do have 4 double stacked steel STI magazines with +1 Taran Tactical Innovation base pads, which that's a lot of magazines for what you get normally when you purchase a pistol. Now, moving on to the pros and cons of the Combat Master. We'll start with the pros. One being, this is an incredibly accurate gun. It's smooth shooting. The recoil is almost non-existent. It's very durable. I do like the DLC finish all around. It's got it on the frame, the slide, the barrel. I like the fiber optic sights. I like the fact that I can adjust the rear sights. The controls are all very, very easy to use. I like all of the texturing. I like the 1913 rail. The trigger is awesome. It's reliable. It's consistent. It feels like the same pull every single time. I do like the safety. I like the extended paddles on both sides, that it is ambidextrous, and I do appreciate the grip safety. The undercuts and the texturing on the front of the trigger guard. I like the flared mag well, and then I like the 4 double stacked steel magazines with the +1 base pads. The cons. The cons are that this was a limited run. STI is no longer STI at the time of making this video. They're Staccato now. So they also don't make this stipple grip for the John Wick 3 Combat Masters anymore. It's actually stippled all the way around. And they also only come with 1 magazine. So if you can get your hands on a John Wick 3 Combat Master, one of these limited runs, do it. It's an awesome, awesome gun. You'll really enjoy it. You'll love looking at it. It can be a display piece, or you can use it. It's a reliable gun. So there it is. And if you like the content in this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you didn't like the content, let me know in the comment section as well. We'll see you in the next one.